Deb Helfrich, hashtag Redheaded She-Hulk. It's Monday evening, July 19th, 2021. 7/19/2021. That's basically a flush. But Alright. Oh, this is going to be a good one. This is a trance. I was pleased with myself. I recorded a nice video doing a win-win-win strategic collaboration. Best possible outcome for everyone at Carnegie Mellon involved in the well-being space. Alright, which would be all of us. From the youngest kid starting as a freshman up to the very nearly days from retiring. We are all so similar, and we all need hashtag well-being philosophy so we can really see through all of the faulty paradigms that are harming precious human life force. So, I'm asking for my university to invest a couple $100,000, let's say $250,000 in launching my career as the Randy Posh of staying alive. As somebody affiliated with Carnegie Mellon, giving the university a lot of press and dap, somebody who's learned to save her own life from a toxic mold exposure, and who learned there's a perhaps better definition of chronic disease, a better definition of enviro-mental illness, better definitions of the suite of neurodivergent traits, which are not diseases or even problems. They're responses to a toxic, polluted world. Now, the thing is, I'm not just only good at talking about being human, and I'm not just a humanist, a humanities scholar. I can sit the physicist down as well. Look, here's the deal. I can boast that I can solve the Big Bang's problems. And in fact, there was no Big Bang. I could solve how everything got started with a better theory than the Big Bang. Now, part of this is I'm inventing stand-up philosophy. So, you have a persona, which mine is hashtag Redheaded She-Hulk. Alumni, George Johnson was the director. I think very common name he has. Was the director of the 1970s Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno, Incredible Hulk version. I was like 7 years old, and I loved that much more than Charlie's Angels or Love Boat. When I think back on it was a very cerebral TV show. I really enjoyed that aspect of the whole situation. But the parallels between my life and the Incredible Hulk TV show, quite a lot. It was gamma radiation that harmed Bill Bixby, but it's gamma brainwaves that helped me learn how to save my own life. Talk about that. But back to the Big Bang. Not. Evolutionary logic. Everything's a process. Now, one of the things that you have to understand, it'll take me a while to get you, it's just not easy. I can't just say how things worked, not the Big Bang. So the Big Bang's problem is, we're such a cause and effect, we are so visual, and we are a cause and effect diluted population at the moment. I'd say ancestral wisdom was a lot less tied into the zeros and ones, either ors, if then, this must happen. We're just very linear in our thinking. So, space and time don't exist, To give you the quick answer to what, besides the Big Bang and its evolution, the space and time don't exist. That's how you get out of this. Well, what caused this? What came first? There had to be stuff to make. Okay, well that's first, but now what caused this new first? Where did that stuff come from? It's simply, you can't get there from this kind of thinking. You need to do life-centric thinking, evolutionary logic. Will get you there. And it's basically evolution. Things evolved. Now, by things, there are two kinds of things in the world. There's stuff and there are forces. Mechanical, chemical, electromagnetic stuff. Buildings and trees and humans, oh my. Elements and molecules and proteins and fatty acids, oh my. E equals mc squared. Has to apply to humans, does it not? I mean, we're part of the universe, and it's been pretty well demonstrated as a thought experiment, first of all, and then now, what's it been? 100 years of people, they did the math and they've done some work on it. Energy equals matter times the speed of light squared. Got stuff and forces. Stuff and forces. Then you got the pinnacle of evolution that we know about so far. And we unite stuff, it's our physical body, with forces. The fifth force, one of my other stage personas past the red-headed She-Hulk, is as the fifth force. I mean, Luke Besson had the fifth element, got the red-headed right, but it was in old, wise, larger body, not in that tiny little boy. Whatever you fancy is, I'm just saying, there is a reason, y'all, the Buddha's fat. I mean, was off in a cave or mountaintop, or he didn't have Uber Eats. Of course, you would have onboard nutrition to be able to survive and come back and be wise. But ketones also, burning stored fatty acids, those ketones quite equivalent to the cannabis effect. So have I tied this all together for you? Space-time doesn't exist. I think I skipped right over that part. I love how space-time don't exist. They're measurements. They're not stuff or forces. Space and time are just measurements. They're just kilometers and gigawatts. Time and space. Location and duration, or hashtag of evolution. That's right. Time is just a hashtag in the ever occurring process of evolution, which is just stuff and life. There's two kinds of stuff: life and non-carbon-based life. Everything else. No agency. No innate capacity to move. Life, from the single-celled amoeba up through fish, reptiles, birds, mammals, us. All agency, movement, and as you go up the chain, more and more and more. So what you get with humans is there's this thing that we have. It's a special force. I mean, we operate mechanically, chemically, electrically, and magnetically in the electromagnetic realm. The philosophical hypothesis of bioelectricity is what enabled all this. From my physical transformation, my life-saving, my incredibly astute brain that is leagues beyond anyone so far listening, because they're just not spending enough time. And also, I'm usually having it's usually the conversational problem. I'm good at these monologues, Socratic monologues. Just explained everything. The theory of everything right there. You gotta live and think on Earth from within a human body, and then I solve every problem we have, every intractable civilizational problem. I solve it now, and you could too, once you get life-centric thinking down. I'm sure. I mean, I'm the inventor. I'm going to be the best at this little skill here, using evolutionary logic, using the math of life. 1 + 1 = 3. Stuff, it's linear. There's no agency stuff. You have two of them. You always gonna have two of them until some human does something and applies some forces and some ingenuity and whatever. But life, you only know how many you have at the particular time you count, because life is always reproducing. 1 + 1 = 3. A male and a female equals an offspring. Oh, dude, 1 + 1 = 3. And you have to understand that philosophy is better than math and science. Especially stand-up philosophy is performed by Deb Helfrich. Because it's not just one. Now that you see the philosophy of the math of life, it's not just 1 + 1 = 3. It's not just one answer. 1 + 1 might equal 4, or puppies and kittens, birds and bees numbers. I'm looking to spend the next year, at least, maybe 2, perfecting this craft on Carnegie Mellon's campus, and like to stay alive to do so. And let's negotiate harmony.